Hi everyone, and this is a video response to MovieJohn's video on 5 of my favorite metal bands. And I really liked that video, and like him, I am a metalhead. Here's 5 of my favorites, and number 5, SOD, which was the crossover hardcore punk band which featured Billy Milano, who would later go on to form MOD, Danny Looker, who would later play bass in Nuclear Assault and Brutal Truth, and Scott Ian and Charlie Benanti of Anthrax. And this is a classic in my opinion, and the songs are pretty good, and they would later reform in the 90s with a live album and a full length in '99 called Bigger Than the Devil, but this will always be remembered as a true classic. And number 4, Brazilian thrashers, Sepultura. And I personally prefer the Max Cavalera era, but they later years were pretty good, but the Max Cavalera years will always be my favorite. And this is definitely one of my favorites from them, Beneath the Remains, even though Arise was the first CD I heard from them. And this is a true thrash classic. At number 3, Celtic Frost. And at first they started out as Hellhammer, who were very influential, and Celtic Frost would be very influential, and they changed their sound over the years. Their last album came out in 2006, and then they broke up, and Tom G. Warrior would later form Triptychon. And this is definitely one of my favorites, To Megatherion. At number 2, German thrashers, Creator. And they've I know in the 90s they had a different type of sound, sort of a goth sound, which I didn't listen to Endorama, but heard a couple of songs from a out of print greatest hits compilation, which I didn't really care for, but in my opinion their thrash stuff is much better, and this is definitely one of my favorites, Pleasure to Kill. And the band is still going strong. And at number 1, Voivod, and definitely one of my favorite bands. And even though the first album I heard from them was Nothing Face, they definitely evolved with their sound over the years. They started out as thrash, and they evolved into a harder edged type band, and they've got a new one out, and this is definitely one of my favorites from them, Killing Technology. And this is their second album on Noise Records. That's it for this video. Go check out MovieJohn. He used to be MovieJohn75, but he's now known as MovieJohn, and he does a lot of cool videos. You all have a good Memorial Day weekend.